So from my side, this is Ajay Gidwani. Today is your host, and today we are going to talk much about the visa requirements of USA and Germany. But then, before we start up with what the other requirements of visa for Germany or maybe US, it is important for us to understand for 2 minutes what is the basics of USA and Germany. So let's start with USA. We all know that yes, USA is the number one economic development of the world. If I talk about USA, we basically talk about STEM courses. We all know STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? And we all know that, yes, the work permit visa for STEM courses up to 36 months. That is 1 plus 2 years. Not only this, the average salary of STEM courses in general is around 1 lakh US dollars, which is approximately 80 lakh rupees of Indian currency. Now, if I talk about the premium companies, whether it is Google, Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, or any company you said, they have their headquarters in USA. Whether it is Silicon Valley or you talk about Fortune 500 companies, they all have their presence in USA. So, more or less, if I talk about specifically the IT related courses, I think that yes, USA no doubt is one of the best destinations. And my dear friends, now for your information, even to support our student, USA has started the STEM courses in management also, right? So now in management, you have few degrees, something called as business analytics, which comes under STEM. We also have something called as cybersecurity leadership and all. So all this comes under the STEM courses, and the work permit visa is up to 36 months. So this is what we talk about USA. Now, in general, if I talk about Germany, so Germany is the fourth largest economy of the world. If I talk about Germany, Germany has the third best education system of the world. But one of the best point which makes Germany differentiate from rest of the world is the average age of citizens in Germany is around 45.7 years. How does it affect me? So this age can help me to have a better prospect of getting, the PR or maybe the EU blue card in Germany. Right. So though Germany is exceptionally well for mechanical, automobile, or maybe IT related courses, but equally Germany is very good for something called as management courses. And the reason for that is yes, Berlin, which is the capital of the Germany, is also supposed to be called as the startup capital of the world. So this gives a lot of opportunity in the coming ventures, in the startups and so many ventures. So there are good job opportunities for management graduates also. So more or less, now we have talked about what is the US and why and what is Germany. So directly, indirectly, both the countries are equally good, right? They both the countries have good prospect in terms of earning opportunity, in terms of employment, and in terms of how much years we can see. But before this, we also need to understand what is the visa requirement, right? So let's understand what is the visa requirement, what is the process of visa, and along with that, one of the most important thing which is must for all of us is to understand the budget. Right. We all know that if I talk about overseas education, there are two parameters. There are two important investment which I need to make. One of them is tuition fee and the another is living expenses. Right. We all know that generally speaking, if I talk about US or for that matter, Germany, the private universities, on an average, it takes somewhere, 15 to 20 lakh rupees as an average of 1 year tuition fee. And if I talk about living expenses, US somewhere it is 14 to 15 lakh rupees, and Germany somewhere it is 10 lakh rupees. So this means that comparatively Germany is slightly economical if I try to compare it with US. Now you may be wondering, when the topic is about visa, why are we discussing this? We are discussing this to have a more elaborative idea, because you come to visa only once you first select the country. right? So what I feel and what I understand is, for all of us, it is important to understand which is the best country suits to me, which is the best country that suits to me, and finally, which is the course that I need to go for it. But for selection of the country, it becomes very important for me to look at my profile, right? I need to understand what I have done in terms of my education, right? What is my aspiration value? What is the rank of the university that I'm expecting? And the more important thing is, what is my budget? How much I am ready to prepare? I'm ready for, what is my intention of paying? Now, this is not only intention, sometimes it is my paying capacity also, which can be increased with the help of education loan, right? But then for education loan also, I'll be requiring few documents. Say hypothetically, if I go for secured loan, I'll be requiring a property, and that property has to be clear title property with registered document and all the things very clear. And if I go for unsecured loan, my sponsor, not I, as I am going for education, I cannot take guarantee of myself. So I'll be requiring maybe my co-applicant in the form of my parents or maybe my spouse, right? So they need to have ITR, they need to have Form 16, they need to have a minimum respectable income of say 8 to 10 lakh rupees, right? Which can help you to get the education loan, right? So this all things are equally important when I talk about, selection of the country, selection of the university, and selection of the course. My dear friend, it's a humble request to all of you, right? Though we have so many players like upgrad in the market, and the one thing which I don't like is, if you go to any consultancy or any institute, what they are trying to do is they are just trying to sell the university which they have. But what I personally feel is, this is not the right way. What is important is, we all need to see that, who am I? What is my expectation? What is my aspiration level? What is my objective? What is my eligibility? How much percentage I've got in my graduation? Do I have any backlogs? Right? What I have learned, whether it's a 3-year course or a 4-year course, and then do I have any gaps? Have I done my, or am I planning to go for English proficiency test, or do I need to go for GRE or not? And then the one of the most important thing is, I'll be talking about budget, right? So by far we have created a base of overseas education. Now I think it will be easier for you not to understand about visa, because if you talk about overseas education, what we do is we start with counseling, right? Then we select country, then we select university, then we select course, then we apply to that particular university. Now this application requires few documents. What are those documents? This documentation includes all the academic documents, which includes your 10th, your 12th, your graduation. Now we require mark sheet. Not only mark sheet, at the same time I will be requiring transcript of my graduation. We all know that, yes, transcript is the authentic document which is given by the registrar of your university, right? And along with that, we will be requiring letter of recommendation. So generally we'll be requiring 2 letter of recommendation. One could be from the corporate and one could be from the academics. But if someone is fresher, we can go for both from, the academics. And then I'll be requiring SOP. So SOP is statement of purpose, wherein I write about my family, my introduction. I write about myself, my area of interest, my study, my research, my internship, right? My short-term vision, my long-term vision, why I am going to either US or Germany, why I am selecting a particular university, and then why I am selecting a particular course, right? Then based on that, you will be getting an offer letter. Now, this offer letter sometimes, or the many of time, it is a conditional offer letter. The reason could be you are a final year pursuing student, or maybe you have not till cleared your IELTS, or it could be many things. So once you complete all the things, all the documentation, then you get the unconditional offer letter. Now, once you get the unconditional offer letter, you have to pay a small amount, which is called as initial deposit, right? That is being paid to the university. Now the time has come for financial structuring, right? Now, what is financial structuring? Financial structuring is planning about my total investment, which is inclusive of my tuition fee as well as living expenses. Now, if I talk about US, I need, the living expenses based on the city. For example, if I'm going for New York City, probably my living expenses could be somewhere 24 to 25,000 US dollar, which is somewhere 18 to 20 lakh rupees. But whereas if I go to some, countryside state, maybe I'm going for New England, in that case, probably my living expenses could be somewhere 17 to 18,000 US dollars, which is somewhere, maybe you can talk about 14, 13 lakh rupees. Right. Now, if I talk about Germany, in Germany, I need to open a block account, and this block account I need to open with 11,208 Germany euro, which is somewhere, it comes down to 9 lakh rupees. So 9 lakh rupees is requirement for my German living expenses, and somewhere average 18 to 20 lakh rupees is required for my US expenses. So if I talk about US, more or less, I require 1 year of tuition fee and 1 year of living expenses, which could be somewhere, 1 year of tuition fees, maybe 20 lakh rupees, and 15 lakh rupees could be your living expenses. So hypothetically, it could be a 35 lakh rupees for that. And if I talk about Germany, it could be somewhere, we can talk about 9 to 10 lakh rupees of living expenses. Now, Germany, yes, I have two options. I can go for public university or I can go for private university. But then we all know, my dear friend, that yes, each one of us would be wanting to go to public university in Germany. But then there are few requirements which I need to clear for public university. And the most important thing is, as it is a free education, right? More or less, the whole world, including India, and specifically, there are a lot of applications from South Asian countries. Maybe you talk about India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, China, Vietnam, So there are lot many applications. And sometimes it happens that even if you are eligible, you won't get an admission into it. It is something like getting an admission into in India IITs, wherein even after your eligibility, there's hardly a percentage of 1.5. Right. But then it depends on you whether you're planning for public university or private university. In both the cases, you need to apply or you need to come up with a block account. And in case of private university, you need to show a proof of fund of at least 2 semesters. And in general, if I talk about a private university in Germany, it just costs you somewhere 9 to 10 lakh rupees in Indian currency. Right. So this is what we talk about financial structuring, right? So this financial structuring I need to plan, and now I have to decide whether I'll be going for a self-funding, I'll be going for an education loan, or am I going to go for a mix of loan, which will be a part of self-funding and a part of education loan. So hypothetically, what generally student does is, for tuition fee, they take a education loan, and for living expenses, they go for self-funding. One of the benefit of that is, once you do that, you can give an application to bank. So bank on your behalf will be paying this tuition fee to the university, and when and where the bank will be paying, only at that time you'll be charged interest, right? Now, logically speaking, if you talk about education, mortgage loan is one of the best, because there you get an opportunity of moratorium period. Now, what do you mean by moratorium period? And specifically, this is allowed for many of the nationalized, even for the private banks, provided you have a mortgage property. You get a chance wherein the applicant, make an application ki I am unable to pay the interest right now. So you get a moratorium period. Now, this moratorium period is for the study period plus 6 months. So hypothetically, if you're going to US for 1 or 1.5 year of course, so in that case, 1 or 1.5 year plus 6 months, you get the moratorium. Though you'll be charging the interest for this period, but it will not be debited from your account. This will be added to your EMI, and then you have to pay this money at the end. So many a time it becomes relief for the family, because once you start earning, in dollars, it becomes very easy for you to pay the EMIs and loan, right? So this is what we talk about education loan, right? And if you're planning for education loan, in that case, I'll be requiring disbursement letter. So there's a slight difference between what you call as a disbursement letter and there is something called as offer letter. In the offer letter, it is actually with condition apply, whereas in case of disbursement letter, it is without condition apply. So the university will be requiring something called as disbursement letter, right? So this is something about financial structuring. So now once I've done this, okay, now many students have the doubt that do I have, can I get a loan for living expenses, yes, you can get a loan for tuition fees, living expenses. Many a time in a financial structuring, you can add laptops, you can add maybe your books and stationery. So even that can be also added for your overall loan. Right now, once I do this, I got this, then probably I'll be trying to go for visa, and in that visa I'll be requiring few documentation. Now this documentation is very important, and based on that, it will be decided whether I'll be getting the visa or not. And then finally I plan for my flying arrangement. It also includes somewhere a medical certificate. It also includes somewhere you need to go for health insurance, and then actually you go to a particular country. So there are a lot of many things, lot many requirements. So what I have done is, till now I've just tried to tell you in brief what you have to do. So now what I'll do is, now I'll be sharing my few PPTs. They are very easy, right? And if you could understand that, it will be very easy for you to understand what are the visa requirements. And hypothetically, we have selected these two countries because in the recent past we have seen that there's a good inclination of our student towards US and Germany, right? So just give me a moment, I'm sharing the PPT so that it becomes very easy, and then I'll catch with your question and I'll be helping you, each one of you, to solve your queries. Make sense? Okay, so before I share the presentation, let's understand what are the different types of visas. We'll also try to understand the documents. We'll also try to understand the proof of fund. And then finally, we'll see the documentation. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Yes. So now if you could see, we are talking about US and Germany visa, right? So let's talk about what is US and Germany visa, and then we will see into it. So the first thing which I need to talk and which I need to tell you is, what are the different types of USA visa? So we all know that there are F1 student visa, J1 exchange visitor visa, there is an M1. But one thing we need to understand, if I am talking about J1 exchange visitor visa, or if I am talking about M1 visitor visa, I am not going to get work permit visa, right? Because this is only for your education study purpose, right? Whereas in case of F1 student visa, which requires an 18 hours of study, then you get the work permit visa, which is true for all types of your education, whether you talk about MS, MBA, or whatever, as the case may be, right? So what are the documents which are required for USA visa? We all know that the first step is passport, right? Then you'll be requiring DS 160 form. I'll be telling you the sequence also, right? Then we'll be requiring service fee, student exchange visitor, sort of that is required. Then you have interview appointment. You require form I-20. Now this is an important point, an important concept to understand. So in US, you have something called as Form I-20. What is Form I-20? Form I-20 is a document given by the university. More or less, this is after checking your credibility and verification. Now, what does this I-20 form require? See, it not only you have to submit your basic academic credentials, including IELTS or GRE as the case may be. You will be submitting your LOR, SOP. But then the most important document which I need to submit for this I-20 is my bank certificate. What is bank certificate? So I need to give a 6 months of statement, right? And a letterhead pay, you have to take the, you have to write from the bank manager. So bank manager will be writing, this is the student, isne itna itna paisa jama kiya hai, and this was there for me from this month, and this is the certificate, sign and seal stamp of the bank. So bank certificate along with the statement has to be given to the university. Now, what is important here? In US, we require a proof of fund. What do you mean by proof of fund? Proof of fund is, I require 1 year of tuition fee and 1 year of living expenses. Living expenses kahan se aayega? Living expenses is the amount which is being mentioned in your offer letter, right? or isme that the same thing you have to combine. Now this has to be an average even for 1 month, but please understand, I need this for last 6 months, and coincidentally, say hypothetically, I am planning for the September intake, right? So generally, I-20 is 4 months before. So it could be in the month of May, right? So I'll be having the statement from December to May, right? So what I have done is 35 lakh rupees I have deposited in the month of 1st April I have deposited. Fine, no problem. But coincidentally, in the month of February, एक छोटा सा 1,500 रुपए का चेक मेरा बाउंस हो गया. What is going to happen? This is going to be a big trouble, right? So we need to understand that account should be very clean, and that is the reason I always recommend to all my students to have an at least 3 months of this proof of fund, which is 1 year of tuition fee and 1 year of living expenses. Though it is not written anywhere, you can go for even 15 days of proof of fund, but then this is the ideal situation. Case number one. Case number two is I am going for an education loan. No problem. You can have an education loan. But then for that, I'll be requiring disbursement letter. And this disbursement letter can be even just 1 month before. But it cannot be 6 mahine purana because it has some validity. So this disbursement letter can also work. And this can also help you to get I-20 in terms of bank certificate. I hope I made it very clear, right? So these are the things which is very important for us to understand I-20. Then I go for visa fees. Yes, I go for bank statement. If I am an experienced guy, I'll be go for salary slips and all, original mark sheet वगैरह लगते हैं, right? And then I'll be requiring the score sheet of say GMAT, GRE or IELTS as the case may be. So now this is an important slide for all of us to understand. So the process of student visa for USA is first, receive the I-20. See, we are talking about visa. We are not talking about application. See, application तो आपने और 4 महीने पहले शुरू किया होगा, right? So what I'm talking about is visa. So you'll be receiving I-20, right? Once you receive I-20, you'll be going for service fee. Then you'll be filling the DS-160 form. You need to pay the visa fee, which is $160. और जो service का fee है, it is tentatively $350. मतलब apart from your fees, you have to shell out somewhere $510, which is approximately the Indian currency that we can calculate, right? And then आपका biometric होगा, and then आपका interview schedule होगा. Non-important thing. Interview में बहुत tough नहीं होता है. It's very basic. But then, what is the expectation? The expectation is you should be very clear about what? Which is the course that you are going for. Why you have selected that particular university. Why that course? What is your planning? What is your short-term and long-term planning? And the most important thing is being seen is, do you have an intent to come back or not? This is very important for all of this, right? So this is the complete process of student visa for USA. Make sense? So this is something what we have talked about, our process of student visa for USA. Now, if I talk about Germany, so in Germany, I have 3 types of visa. It could be something called as German student visa. It means that I've got the offer letter and then I'm planning. So this is German student visa. The second could be language course. I'm going to Germany for learning some language. This is a very short term. And the third thing is it could be student applicant visa, which means that I have not yet decided which course I'll be going, but I just want to go to Germany. But then normally we have seen that in India, we plan for something called as German student visa, right? So what are documents required? So here I'll be requiring not only passport, everything, but here I need to understand an important thing. From 1st of November 2022, the German embassy has come up with one more documentation, and this is called as APS certificate, right? Now, let's have a brief discussion about what is APS certificate, right? And we need to understand for getting the German visa, what are the requirements? So first is you'll be getting an APS certificate. Second is you'll be making an appointment with the German consulate. So what is APS certificate? APS certificate is actually, you are getting your academic credentials verified with the embassy, right? So you'll be submitting your mark sheet and everything, and this is at the charge of rupees 18,000, right? So once and first you have to do this, and once you get this APS certificate, as of now, this APS certificate doesn't have any validity. I mean, you can use it even after 1 year, right? So this APS certificate, then you are going to make an appointment with the German consulate. Then you are set up a block account. Now, what is a block account? In US, we have talked about I need to show, which is called as proof of fund. But in Germany, I need to open an account. And in this opening an account, I need to deposit 11,208 German euros. Now, what that concept is? You might be knowing something called as GIC in Canada. It works in the same way. So you'll be depositing money. This is your own money, but you'll be getting this money in installment, kiston mein. That is, once you reach Germany, it will be divided by 12, right? And every month you'll be getting that money for living expenses, right? Then you need to apply for health insurance. That's very important. Then I'll be going for application form, and then you have to check, have all the documents ready, and then you go for consulate, right? So this is what is required as a student for Germany. Now, what is APS certificate? This is what I was telling you. Now, few things you need to understand, specifically in case of Germany. There are few changes in Germany. Number one, before August 2022, even we have sent few students to Germany without English proficiency test. But now the consulate have started asking for English proficiency test. Though it is not written compulsory, but it is being written, it is recommended. So it is ideal situation that even for going Germany, you all should first clear your English proficiency test. And one of the myth, do I need to clear a German language test before going to Germany? For private universities, no. For private universities, you don't need to clear a German test, right? German language rather, that you can do subsequently. But it is always recommended and advisable that you should have a basics of German language. It is something like, you're going to a country and you don't want to learn. This is not fair. So you should learn it, right? So anyways, so what we are talking about? We're talking about APS certificate. So what is the process of APS certificate? You need to register online, then you'll be paying an 18,000 of Indian currency fees to APS bank account, and then you need to submit all the documents, right? They are going to take it. They'll be taking an average processing time of 3 to 5 weeks, and then they'll be giving you a certificate which signifies that yes, your documents are all okay and you are good to go for German education. So this is what an APS certificate is. So what are the documents required for APS application? An application form with a passport size photo, a copy of the APS fee transfer receipt of 18,000 rupees, a copy of Aadhaar card with a linked mobile number, copies of passport, copies of all your mark sheet and degree certificate, and proof or language certificate for German or English as the case may be. So this is required for APS application. Right. Now, we have discussed about APS. We have discussed about what US documents is, what is document required here. Now we're talking about USA fund requirement. Happily, we have discussed this also, but now we will read out what we have said. So for this, I'll be requiring I-20 bank certificate. And what is accepted? So fixed deposit accepted, balance certificate, PF, PPF is also accepted, no problem. So it is more or less, we talk this as a liquid cash, right? So person or the personal or sponsored bank statement, scholarship proof, loan sanction, or the disbursement letter is required. This is what is called as USA fund requirement, right? Makes sense. Then are you talking about Germany fund requirement? So what is the Germany fund requirement? So for Germany fund requirement, I'll be requiring an Indian student must have an at least of 11,208, German euros. For that, you need to open and block account. That is the only thing. Right. Now, if you talk about some other countries, a very good, I mean, the countries which Indians are preferring, let's talk about Canada. So in Canada, what you need is you need to open a GIC account with 10,000 Canadian dollar, and you require, some nominal fee of say 200 to 300. If you talk about Indian currency, somewhere it costs you say 6,20,000, right, as a block account fee. And please understand, in India, generally, all of us, including upGrad, we go for SDS category. And in SDS category, not only you need to open a GIC account, but at the same time, you need to ensure that you need to pay a 2 semester fee and you need to clear an English proficiency test, right? If I talk about UK, this is once again a very good market for all of us. For UK, the visa requirement is I'll be requiring a 28 days of funds. Right now, this is divided on the basis of London, non-London. So hypothetically, in Indian condition, if it is London, you'll be requiring say somewhere 12 lakh rupees, and if it is non-London, you'll be requiring say 9 lakh rupees along with the 1 year of tuition fee. So somewhere, average tuition fee in London could be somewhere say 18 to 20 lakh rupees. So non-London will be requiring say 28, and London will be requiring 30 or 32 as a proof of fund. But then in UK, you'll be requiring this for 28 days only. 29th day, you'll be getting a bank statement. Then you'll be sending all this to the university. University will be giving you cash. That is confirmation of acceptance of studies. And based on that, you'll be getting your visa. So I mean, and if you talk about Australia, thoda sa tricky hai, because in Australia you require a proof of fund, and that is required at least for 3 months, right? And if you talk about Australia, the funds will be slightly high because Australia is slightly higher on the cost. So there you require an average of say 40 lakh rupees. That is there, right? So a good option for all of us, whether you talk about US, you talk about Canada, you talk about UK, you talk about Germany. Ireland is comparatively a reasonable country wherein I'll be requiring, say, 1 year of tuition fee and living expenses. If you talk about Dublin, it must be say around 10 lakh in Indian currency. Otherwise, it's going to be somewhere 8 lakh rupees, which is required along with 1 year tuition fee. So it will be somewhere say 22, 23 lakh rupees in Ireland also, right? So more or less, we can talk about 20 lakh rupees. So yes, before going for question answer, I'll be just helping you to understand that in upGrad, we have not only the direct admission that you used to do, like complete on-campus study, but also we have something called as accelerator program, which means that part of the course you'll be doing in India and part of the course you'll be doing in that particular country. How does it help you? It helps you to reduce the first year cost by around 80%. And believe me, if I'm talking about US, on an average, the fees is 40 lakh rupees. But then with this hybrid learning, I'll be paying only 20 lakh rupees. And you will not believe, for Germany, we have a university wherein you can complete your course in just 10 lakh rupees. Yes, you've heard it rightly, 10 lakh rupees. Sometimes I feel, is it possible for me to complete my MBA in Indian 10 lakh rupees? No, it's not possible. But I can have my master's degree is MBA from Germany at just 10 lakh rupees. So my dear friend, there are a lot of options, but yes, we all need to be aware. Please don't just listen and agree with what I am saying. I'll be very happy if you understand, if you, read, if you, introspect, try to understand what is your preference, what is your objective, right? And then decide which is the best country for you, which is the best university for you, and which is the best course for you, right? One of the things is very important for all of us to understand is ROI. See, I'm going for a master's degree, not just for the sake of education. There may be, say, hardly a 3 or 4% in India which says that, no, it's fine. I'll just have my degree and I'll come back. We all know that, my dear friend, in India, we are going for job only. Yes, 90% of us are going for overseas education only for job. So is not ROI a very important component, a very important factor for me to decide? Yes, it is. So ROI basically talks about cost versus benefit ratio. So I need to understand what is the total investment, or it is actually an expense, but I call this as an investment. Why investment? Because this, I'm going to get the return very soon, very fast. So if I talk about my investment, it is something which is in the form of tuition fee and living expenses, and how much time I'll be requiring to extract that money, in terms of my salary. So this all is very important for all of us to understand. And then only I should be applying for any application or visa for that matter. Right. So now what I'll do is I'll be going now for question and answer, and I'll be saying, so I've got my first question from Divyansh. He said that which is better, US or Germany? So my answer to you, Divyansh, will be if you have a little higher budget, maybe 35 lakh rupees in that case, and it is IT, believe me, US is the best. Right. But then if comparatively you have a lesser budget, maybe say 15, 18, 20 lakh rupees, then no doubt about it, Germany is going to be the best. Right. So can I do an MEd from Germany? See, we are open from any of the country, any of the thing. But my dear friend Pratibha, I'll request you for all this type of education courses, probably uh, other than Germany, I'll recommend you UK. You should go for UK for all these courses. Right. Divyas is saying he has got GMAT 680. I mean, that's very good. That's highly appreciable. It will really help you. But then, in many of the cases, you don't require, as say, GMAT. But then, if you talk about very high premium institute, yes, you'll be requiring, and GMAT is good to go. When do we apply for visa? So, my dear friend, generally, if I talk about any country, it is 3 or 4 months before the intake, right? I'll be applying for this visa. Scholarship is possible. Yes, Chava, scholarship is possible. So it depends on your academics. It depends on your standardized tests like GRE and GMAT and all. But then if you have a budget constraint, I'll recommend you to get back to the website of upGrad. The upGrad counselor will really help you to have your Germany course in just 10 lakh rupees. I mean, you cannot even imagine that is possible. Right. ओके टैक्सेस दिव्यांश यस देखो आपने दुखती रख पे हाथ रख दिया सी टैक्सेस तो देने पड़ेंगे कमाई में बट देन द पॉइंट इज यू गेट सच अ गुड फैसिलिटी दैट यू डोंट माइंड टू गिव यू taxes so they have their slab. It generally starts from 20,000 plus if you earn, and it may be somewhere 30-35% of taxes, so you have to bear with that, but then you get such good facilities that it is manageable. Do I need all the offer letters and experience letter to apply for a master's program in USA? Surya, I'm confused which type of offer letter you're talking about. But then what I see is for any one university, when you are applying, we'll be requiring the offer letter of that particular university. We'll be requiring SOP. We'll be requiring LOR. The LOR has to be 2. We'll be requiring English proficiency test, and we'll be requiring all academic documents. Prashant is asking, what are the chances of getting scholarship for masters in physics? Dear Prashant, generally for masters courses, and specifically if I talk about countries like US, predominantly they look at your academics and they have more focus on GRE. I mean, that makes sense. How to get public universities in USA? See, in USA, Surya, it hardly differs whether you go for public university or a private university, because coincidentally, you're not going to get a huge scholarship. So it hardly matters. What matters is what is your score, what is your academics. We need to check your backlogs. And the most important thing is what is your budget. So based on budget, you have to decide. See, please understand, higher the brand, higher the budget. And a higher ranking always doesn't promise you a good return on investment as far as job goes. Because unlike India, we don't have campus placement in overseas education. So what they have is they have the open job fairs and exhibitions. Anybody can come, and any student can come and give. So it hardly matters whether you are from a 300 QS ranking or a 600 QS ranking. What is important is your skill, and how do you make yourself presentable. That's more important. What about part-time jobs in Germany? Yes, Prashant, it is very good for part-time jobs in Germany, because in Germany you can have a part-time job even outside campus. Yes, there's a good question. In US, coincidentally, for the first year you cannot work outside campus. So I hope you must have seen a Mohabbatein, right, wherein Amitabh Bachchan says that कोई भी इस campus के बाहर नहीं जाएगा. So you have to make sure that आप पहला साल campus के अंदर ही करेंगे और part time ही करेंगे. थोड़ा सा it becomes difficult, to cover your 100% of living expenses. That is, I always say that in US, it's going to be somewhere 60 or 70%. But if you have a good skill, and specifically if you have good techno or management skill, you can get a good freelancing job, which can help you to cover 100% of your living expenses. But in Germany, there is no problem. But my dear friend, थोड़ा सा जर्मनी सीख के जाना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज काम नहीं चलेगा. Fair. Yeah, so Obed, yes, definitely. If you have registered, officially registered it, you will get a call from upGrad counselor, and we'll be helping you with everything you have. Binisha, Ayurvedic degree holder can go to US on student visa. Ayurvedic degree holder. See, if you're talking about this 4 years or 5 years, 4 years preferably. So it's a graduation, so there is no problem. You can, I'll personally suggest you to go for management course. Then there will be no problem for that, right? Are international student loans available from international financer without co-signers for the Germany? What is the maximum age to get a student visa in Germany and US? See, for Germany, thoda sa problem hai, because in US we have a concept called as Prodigy Finance and Empower, which gives you an education loan even to the student directly. But in Germany, thoda difficult hota hai. But then Germany, you don't require much of capital, yaar. So, I mean, if you can, register yourself or you can get back to our counselor, they'll be helping you with a very minimal capital. You could go to Germany. It's not a big problem. Yes, for US, it's always a problem because you require a huge fund, right? For Germany, it's not huge. Okay. Is 321 score in GRE good for MBA and USA? Yes, anytime, no problem about it. 321 is good to go, and probably you can get a good scholarship also, no doubt about it. Okay. Please provide recording of the webinar. Yes, I'll request my backend team to please give the recording to Divyansh. If you can please share if you are hearing it. Thank you so much. I want to about USA only. USA, yes, USA is possible. So, I mean, you have to check it, how it is possible. And if I'm not wrong, you're asking about that education loan, then in USA, your Prodigy and Empower, there is no problem in that. Binny, what you will suggest is, you could have, an interaction with the upGrad counselor. So what he will do is, we'll request you to submit your documents. And once you have a documents, what we will do is, we will directly send your document to university. All problem will be solved. There will be no SAPA at all. So it will be better, our document de dijiye, we will send it to university. And then we have a direct interaction with the university कि आपको क्या मिल सकता है, क्या नहीं मिल सकता है. Because I personally don't believe in all this fail, हो जाएगा, नहीं हो जाएगा. We'll directly confirm it. I hope it's very clear to you, Binny. So you could just, get back to upGrad counselor and they'll help you. Can you see again getting Germany visa PPT? Okay, I'll tell you. So Germany visa PPT के लिए, you need to open a block account. और block account open होने के बाद सबसे पहले अब यहाँ पे there's a new concept called as APS. So you need to register yourself in APS. APS का fee देना होगा 18,000 रुपए का, 18,000 का. Then you have to give your documents. They'll be verifying it. It may take 3 to 4 weeks. Once you get the APS certificate, then you will be applying to consulate, and at the same time you'll be opening a block account, and then you'll be getting all this procedures for Germany. What are the requirements to apply to Public University of Germany? Ashwini, basically, if you talk about public universities, so if you're planning for September intake 2023, by December or January, you need to apply to public universities. You need to look at your academics. It has to be without backlog, virtually. It will be better if you have GRE. It will be better if you have a research paper publication, at least 1 or 2. It will be better if you have some relevant certification. It will be better if you have at least 1 or 2 years of experience. Now, why I'm saying so it is better? Logically, requirement is not there, but due to huge competition, immense competition, it is required that you need to be, far superior than what others are applying. So in that case, there will be better chance that you will get it, right? Umesh ji, you can get the link from upGrad. We can help you, no problem. Divyansh, I'm so sorry, I'll not give you my mobile number, but then yes, you can just call upGrad and you're getting all the problems. If any one of our counselor has any problem, automatically it comes to me only. So I'll be definitely helping you. Don't worry about that, right? We'll be helping you with that. Mansoor Bhai says that I need 100% scholarship. So you can apply to Germany. So there you can have public university, wherein you need to pay only the social security measure, which will be around 2,000 euros. It is around, say, 1,50,000 in Indian currency. Okay, sir, when winter intake start in Germany in 23, I have 10 lakh budget. So, Ruk sir, you don't worry. This will be fine. If you can contact the upgrade, we will definitely help you for that intake in 2020. There's no problem about that. Which country is good for finance? See, Aswani, if you are getting a STEM course, then I feel that you should go for finance in US. Otherwise, comparatively, I'll suggest Germany will be better, because I personally believe, this is my perception, I may be wrong, but I feel that going to US without STEM is not a good decision, right? But if you get a STEM degree in US, so we have few finance STEM courses in US that will be helping you. So you can get back to us, we'll be definitely helping you with that also. IT background with 1 year of experience planning for USA, yes, open for it. Divyansh, you can come, we'll definitely help you. See, you're doing it from Pennsylvania University. See, what is important, Akshat? I feel that before, like in the last semester, you should start applying to job. Akshat, I hope you're hearing. In the last semester, you should apply for jobs, because it takes 3 to 4 months. And once you start getting it, it will be requiring, say, average maximum 15 months to recover your complete investment. Can we show PF balance for the visa interview? See, visa interview is not you require PF balance and all. You don't require finance for visa interview. You require finance for your I-20, right? And PF is not accepted. So you need to have, better hai ki aap, or else you can get a document from them. This is the balance I have. And even further better that if you can withdraw and deposit in the saving account, that will be more better. For MBA, which one is preferable? I don't know what you're asking. For bachelor, which is best country? It all depends on your budget. If you have a very good budget, then definitely US is best. And fortunately, for US also, we have a hybrid program in bachelor's, 2 years in India and 2 years in US. The cost will be hardly 35, 36 lakh rupees. Otherwise, it will be 80 lakh rupees. Which will be better for construction management? Once again, depending upon budget, but then probably I think you should go for Germany, right? CGPA 7 in automobile engineering from Kerala. Can I get a seat in Public University of Germany? If you have a good profile other than academics, maybe yes, possible. Minimum salary in USA for fresher. So for fresher, minimum salary could be somewhere 60,000 US dollar. It's quite possible. And someone with 3 or 4 years of experience, 1 lakh US dollar is possible. Mechanical engineers, which country do you suggest? So dear, you need to understand, do you need to continue in mechanical or you'd like to shift into IT? Because coincidentally, IT ka bolbala, you have very good salaries in IT. So if you would like to shift to IT, that's your call. You have to understand which country you would like to go. अगर IT में जाना है, थोड़ा बजट है, तो US से अच्छा कुछ भी नहीं है. I have a CGPA of 4.7 at graduation from Tier 1 college in India. Hemant थोड़ा सा कम हो गया, but then I'll request you to get back to upgrad counselors. आपके हम documentation मंगाएंगे and we will check, क्योंकि German में आजकल नया rule निकला है. We have to check German GPA, जिसमें you have to score less than 3.5. So मैं अभी नहीं बता सकता. Once you will send the documents, we'll check it. We need your transcript, right? And based on that, we'll be telling you what is good and what is bad. Okay. How to apply for education? Definitely upgrad can help you for education loan. Don't worry about that. Why is USA better than Germany? Akshay, the simple reason is USA is the #1 economic development country of the world. If I talk about companies, Silicon Valley, it is in US. But if it is a budget constraint, I cannot have a better option than Germany. So please understand. If you have say 30, 35 lakh rupees, go for US. If you have 15, 20 lakh rupees, go for Germany. Right? Anirudh, once again, same thing applies to you. पैसा है बेटा तो यूएस जाओ, कम खर्चा करना है तो जर्मनी जाओ. हाउ कैन आई अप्लाई यूएस स्टूडेंट वीजा स्लॉट क्विकली? ये तो थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है भाई, ये तो आपको डिपेंड ऑन डिमांड सप्लाई होगा, उसके लिए नोबडी कैन हेल्प यू. व्हेन कैन वी अप्लाई एपीएस? व्हेनेवर यू वांट. ऐसा कोई इसमें डेडलाइन नहीं होता है, लेकिन अगर आपको वीजा अप्लाई करना है तो एटलीस्ट 6 महीने पहले अप्लाई करिए, बिकॉज इट टेक्स 1 month फॉर द APS. Which country are better part-time job option? अगर आप honestly मुझसे पूछोगे, so it will be Germany, because in US first year you cannot leave campus. Deepak ji, you're pursuing MBA Finance and Accounting from IU. What scope in Germany? So Deepak, you don't worry, because अभी आप जो कर रहे हैं, we will be definitely helping you through our upGrad buddy also. Just to tell you, we have started with onshore upGrad buddy assistance, wherein our support system, our alumni will help you for part-time job as well as the full-time. Will be assisting you. I cannot tell you, I cannot say that I will guarantee you, but then definitely will be helping you. और दीपक, there is going to be no problem for you. But then my dear friend, थोड़ा सा आप जर्मनी सीख लो, आयु ने आपको पढ़ाया भी होगा, प्लीज कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन दैट, और आप लास्ट सेमेस्टर में ही जॉब ढूंढना चालू कर लीजिए. जर्मन पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटी में यू हैव टू पे ओनली 2000 एज अ सोशल सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट. देयर इज नो फीस. आई होप आई हैव क्लियर्ड योर डाउट. MBA के लिए, yes, I personally feel if it is a STEM course, nothing like it in US, but then otherwise Germany. MOI is valid for English language certificate. ऐसा हुआ करता था, अभी थोड़ा सा डाउटफुल है, इसलिए I recommend you to go for English proficiency test. I'm working in R&D. Can I get the part-time job in same profile? थोड़ा सा difficult है, because R&D की बहुत सारी प्रोफाइल नहीं मिलते हैं. I cannot commit you, थोड़ा सा difficult है. जर्मन वीजा के लिए व्हाट इज द मिनिमम आइल बैंड? मिनिमम यू रिक्वायर 6, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं चाहिए. डस कॉलेज मैटर इन यूएसए? थोड़ा सा, नॉट बहुत ज्यादा. ओके, वीजा रेशियो पर जर्मनी में आपके पास आता हूं. ऑन एन एवरेज द वीजा रेशियो एक्सेप्टेंस, दिस इज जस्ट एन एनोनिमस रिव्यू इन गूगल. मैं गारंटी नहीं दे सकता, तो कृपया करके मेरी बात को आप 100% इस बारे में ना माने, स्पेशली फॉर वीजा एक्सेप्टेंस. बट देन मेरा जो पर्सनल ओपिनियन है, फॉर जर्मनी इट इज अराउंड 90, राइट, and for US visa acceptance it is around 75-80, not more than that. But then here we help you, because in upGrad we have an accelerator program, a hybrid program, wherein the part of the course is done in India. So as you have done your part of the course in India and you have got few credit, so in that case your intent of study is clear. That is the reason comparatively our visa success ratio is better than the average one. So in our case मैं ऐसा बोल सकता हूँ, tentatively, tentatively you may get more than 90% visa success ratio with us for Germany, and minimum of 80% visa success ratio with us with US. It could be 85-90 also, but then that small margin of error you have to always keep, because unfortunately I don't sign on visa, right? So that is a visa officer. I mean, it's very difficult for me to comment on this, but then we'll try our level best to make sure that you have a right documentation, and from our side we'll do level best that you should get 100% assistance to make sure that yes, you'll be getting your visa. Ganesh bhai, you have got few backlogs, so you can get back to us. We'll help you, no problem. I think we should take a break here, because almost we have we are coming to the end of the session. बाकी जिन लोगों के मैं आंसर आपको नहीं दे पाया, so I'm so sorry, but then you don't worry, we'll be getting back to you, and if anyone has any doubt, you can get back to us, and to make sure that yes, we'll be helping you with all types of support, specifically for right from the country selection to university selection to course selection, and finally, my dear friend, we will be helping you for even the visa also. So you have to make sure that we can help you for everything. And one of the best thing what you can go for upGrad abroad is we can get, or we can help you to reduce the fees by around 80% in the first year. And believe me, this is not a joke. So what you want is we'll be covering your fees in less than 80%. Or aapko kya chahiye? So you have to make sure that yes, we will be helping you for everything. Get back to us. We'll be pleased to help you, right, for everything we can have. I hope I've cleared your doubt. If for anything, you can get back to me. I am Ajay Gidwani. We are there to help you. I'm always there to help you. And we will make sure that, yes, my friends, those who are attending this webinar will get 100% support, will get 100% assistance from our side, so that you guys will get all the support from us. So before I end, once again I repeat you, in upgrad we have lot many support, and this support is in accelerator program. Now what do you mean by accelerator program is, we will be doing a hybrid course, part of the course in India and part of the course in respectable country. This respectable country will really help you to make sure that yes, I'll be helping you. So from my side, uh, from upgrad management, we are so happy that you have joined us, and I hope that I have given justice to the visa requirement. I have given justice to what your expectation is, and we can have the series of this session, and we will make sure that in recent past will be once again coming up with more such type of webinar. So currently, from my side, once again, thank you so much, each and everyone who has attended the session. And I hope that you have a happy learning across the globe. But believe me, if you want to really make sure that you want to reduce your overall cost, to make sure that you can increase your return on investment without compromising on any work permit visa or part-time requirement, upgrad abroad is the right solution for you. Because I always say that yes, study abroad only with upgrad abroad. Thank you so much for your time. So this is Ajay Gidwani signing off. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, my dear team, who has taken all the pain to organize this webinar, to organize this session, and does a lot of activities for us. So very soon, once again, I'll be coming to you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.